What's the most fucked up thing you did in a sleepover?
In the mid-late 90s, my brother got really into the anarchists cookbook and learned how to tap into neighbors' landlines from a box on the pole using a touch-tone phone and some connectors from RadioShack. We'd have friends sleepover, we are close in age, and we'd sneak out and he'd hook a phone up so we could call phone sex lines from outside a neighbor's house in the bushes. I still wonder if they disputed the charges or if the wife just thought the husband was calling 1-900 big tits at 2 a.m.
Visiting a friend's house for the first time, and I couldn't find the bathroom. I was about 10, during a sleepover. In the middle of the night, dark, confused, I pissed in the closet.
Got a bloody nose. It was dark and I didn't know the house, so I stuck near the walls and went down the hallway and found the bathroom. Got the bleeding to stop, cleaned up, went back to sleep. In the morning, the mom came in frantic making sure everyone was alive after she saw smeared, bloody handprints all the way down the hallway.
More embarrassing than fucked up. Accidentally clogged the toilet at friend X's house. There was no plunger and the toilet was filling rapidly. I panicked and ran to my friend who promptly called for his dad. His dad takes one look and yells from the bathroom, "Jesus, X. How big of a shit did you take?" It took years before I went back to his house.
Raided my friend's dad's Playboy mags. Then my friend showed me a porn video and I couldn't figure out why the girl was drinking the guy's pee. Full disclosure, I was like 9 or 10 and this was early 80s.
In Boy Scouts, I was the morning cook, meaning I woke up before anyone else to chop wood, make fire, and get water boiling. I grab the hatchet and start splitting a log into little splinters for kindling. It was cold and dewy. The hatchet slipped from my hand mid-upward swing and went flying to the tent circle. It seriously flew 10 to 15 yards and fell straight down through the roof of a tent, where 4 scouts were sound asleep. I'm not sure how long I waited to hear someone start screaming. I probably sat there in terrified anticipation for over a minute. Then I was worried someone might be hurt, so I crawled over to that tent where the hatchet landed. I super quietly unzipped the flap, and saw it landed in a bag of clothes very close to some kid's head. I snuck in, grabbed the hatchet, left the tent, zipped it back up, and finished breakfast. I heard them at breakfast complaining that the raccoons has ruined their perfectly nice tent by clawing a hole in it.
Was at a sleepover, my buddy slept on his couch, I slept on his beanbag chair with a blanket. After hours of playing 007 GoldenEye, I get up and go use their restroom, except I didn't. I only dreamed I did and I pissed all over myself at like 4 a.m. I hid the blanket in their jacket closet, it was summertime, and threw the beanbag chair and my pissy underpants in their outdoors dumpster. They lived on a ranch. I was 14 at the time. LOL.
We had a co-ed church group sleepover at a Vermont farm. I was 13 and recently got a fake testicle. I had my other testicle removed due to an accident. I was getting people to feel my balls and take bets on which one was the real one.
I had a sleepover at a friend's house. Preteen boys, so we were stuffed in one little bed. I got a nosebleed, but slept through it for about an hour. I noticed eventually, and got up to tend to it. My friend woke up while I was in the bathroom to what looked like a scene from a horror movie. I did not get a second sleepover.
Threw up on my cousin's Christmas tree in the middle of the night at her house. I still get shit for that, 6 years later.
I don't remember what we were looking for, but me and another friend went through our buddy's parents' bedroom drawers and found a VHS tape. We were curious and idiotic, so we popped the tape in to see what was on it. Our buddy walked in while we were watching his parents have sex. His scream was the most shocking/horrifying thing I have heard to this day.
I pissed on the air mattress, and my friend's mom asked if a raccoon broke in.
Walked home while everyone was asleep. Didn't tell my friend, didn't tell their parents, didn't tell my parents, just crawled out a window at my friend's house and crawled in a window at my own. Went to bed. Not a single person looked for me in the morning.
Was probably in like 6th grade maybe? Buddy of mine had a birthday sleepover, had a super cool basement with pool and GameCube, and a mini fridge, dope parents who bought us pizza and all that. It was about like 15 of us spending the night. At some point around like 2 a.m. someone wanted to play Mario Kart, and all you heard was a big crash and suddenly a very faint "I think I just spilled orange soda on the GameCube." Cue a faint BZZT sound and yeah, GameCube was fucked. Buddy's parents were not happy, pretty sure that was the last big sleepover like that.
One of my buddies in high school would bully me all the time and he treated me like shit when I was staying over his house with other friends. One time he told me to go get him a glass of water, so I went upstairs, poured him a glass of water, dipped my nuts in it for a few seconds, then gave it to him.
So my house never had junk food when I was little, and when I slept over my friend's house I ate an entire Chips Ahoy container while everyone was asleep, and then put the container under her little sister's bed, who then got blamed for it and in trouble.
My friend had just gotten the internet, so we spent all night trying to look up porn of the Spice Girls. That should give you a rough idea of when this happened.
Watched The Exorcist when I was way too young, scared the crap out of me, so pussied out, and went downstairs and watched Piranha with his mum instead.
Was pretty young, but I shit myself while I was sleeping and hid the underwear under my homie's bed.
Was sleeping on the floor while my buddy slept on the bed. I decided to masturbate for some damn reason. I really hope he was asleep. I cringe every fucking time I think about it.
I got my first period at a sleepover, and lucky for me the first year of periods came with wicked vomiting and diarrhea. So in the middle of the night right after everyone fell asleep, I destroyed my friend's bathroom with a volcanic amount of diarrhea. Then, on my way back to the living room where 5 preteen girls were crammed, I proceeded to vomit directly between 2 girls sleeping. I had to ask the mom for help with cleaning up the mess.
When I was a stupid kid I got invited for a sleepover. It was a few of us and we would be going paintballing the next day, through generosity of the host and his parents. Now I knew most them from my school, but was really only good friends with one, and he had suggested they invite me as he knows I like to paintball. In the night time when we were all in the living room being loud and dumb kids. I stupidly said the host name was probably upstairs fucking his mom. Everyone bust out into laughter. Well, I said it loud enough that they heard upstairs as well, and his mom wasn't very happy. The next day it was brought up and they completely blamed the wrong person. I never said a word about how it was me. That was maybe 10 or 11 years ago, and I still think about it, lol. It was so rude and unnecessary. I wish someone had ousted me, but you live and you learn.
Made so many prank calls that we ended up calling the same house 3 separate times about 6 hours apart. Just typing in random numbers. Lady was fucking pissed. Called the cops. We got in shit.
Tried to drink straight from a bottle of Jim Beam, instantly threw up all over my friend's table.
Got hammered at the bar and slept over at this couple's house. I never got the tour, so didn't know where the bathroom was. I woke up having to puke and shit. I alternated, but I got shit and puke everywhere. They didn't have toilet paper, so I used a bag of cotton balls, which wouldn't flush, so I put all the wet cotton balls back in the original bag with my shit-covered underwear and threw the bag away in their kitchen trash can. Their dog was watching me the entire time. I left before they got up and never spoke to them again. Edit, wow. Thank you all for the love. I'm glad my adventure could bring you joy.
I snuck out of my good friend's house while she was sleeping. Met up with some friends who were looking for someone to teepee. We teepeed my friend's house, and then I snuck back in and went to bed. In the morning I had to act surprised while helping her clean it up. I still feel bad.
I had a wet dream while sharing a bed with my friend. He didn't wake up. I had just hit puberty and had a random wet dream.
In high school I passed out super drunk on my back at a friend's house and started throwing up in my sleep. Luckily my friend heard what was happening and woke me up and rolled me over before I had a chance to asphyxiate.
We found Kraft singles in the fridge and put one over the nose and mouth of a friend of ours who fell asleep on the couch before everyone else. It immediately softened and molded into a cheesy seal over his face, and he stopped breathing. We all freaked out for a solid 10 seconds, very quietly, until we heard him make a chewing sound. Motherfucker smelled cheese and took immediate action, despite being unable to breathe, and just straight up ate a mouse-sized hole into the single unconsciously. We then proceeded to plaster the entire package onto his face one at a time and watch him hoover up the cheese slices in order to not die.
This is not the weirdest thing, but something that has always stuck out to me. Had a girl tell me that she knew someone who masturbated by holding themselves up at the top of a door and basically doing pull-ups against the door to get off. She even demonstrated it for me. Then she took a very long shower with a detachable shower head. She came out silent and out of it for a bit. It didn't occur to me until a few years later that she had the most defined arms out of anyone I knew at the time who was our age. I remember thinking that was weird since she played soccer, but her upper body was ripped. Also, no one would make that up and say it was their friend because it was so strange, and she was way too good at it. I tried after her thinking, sweet, a new way to get off, but I could only raise my body a few times. Anyways, girl got off from the corner of her closet door by doing pull-ups.